You all see what the screen says. Just make sure this gets started up over. Boom. What's going on, y'alls? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, y'all? What's going on, everybody? If you watch me from the YouTube, what's good? What's happening? What is going on? Appreciate you being part of the live. Appreciate you being part of the live. How's it going, everybody? Well, give me a few minutes, all right? I just got to go ahead and get some. I'm trying to get some opposition first, but tap that screen for me, all right? Unstoppable. Tap that screen for me. All right. If you watch me over on the YouTube and you disagree with what I have on the board, that is okay. Go ahead and call in that number. If you're watching over from the YouTube, you can go ahead and call in that number. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all amazing. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all amazing. I appreciate y'all's. Thank y'all so much for being here. Unstoppable. You still doing a still doing the debate over systemic racism? All right. All right, Chiller. Chiller, go ahead and come on up. We can go ahead and talk about that subject. Go and talk about what woke means. So, Chiller, go ahead and come on up. Go ahead and talk about what woke means. I sent you a request. Yeah, Unstoppable. We I mean, all debates start off not very well. You know what I mean? A lot of times we learn new information, and there are things we didn't think about until after. You know what I mean, things we don't look up until afterwards. It's all right. Hey, so Chiller, I went ahead and invited you up, so we can go ahead and talk about what woke means. Appreciate you so much, Kyle, for the jewels. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Any day, all day. Appreciate you, Kyle, for the jewels. All right, like I said, if you like to talk to me about what I have on the board, go ahead and call on in. I appreciate you. The mods are here. Mods are here. I did invite someone up. Chiller asked me what I think what woke means. So Chiller, you can go ahead and I invited him already. You can go ahead and come on up and I'll let you know what I think woke means. Yeah, go ahead and hit those likes, y'all. Hit those likes. Thank y'all so much for coming in early. Y'all so much for being here, coming in early. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome. Go ahead and tap that screen. Unstoppable, tap that screen for me, all right? Tap that screen for me. And if you're joining in over on the TikTok, you can hit that guest button. And if you're watching me over on the YouTube, the number is right up here to call in, and it's also tagged in the description below. You can go ahead and call in 786-530-5941. Oh yeah, I do gotta add them over to the Bash channel. I'll do that in a moment. All right, I'm gonna add those guys over to the Bash channel. I appreciate y'all. So once again, we are here. Well, William, I'm not sure what you got removed for. I have no idea. Hey, Anima, how's it going, Anima? All right, y'all. So tap that screen. We're just right now at the moment waiting for a guest to come up. I did invite someone who asked me what I thought woke meant, and we're just gonna go ahead and wait for that person to come up if they would like to. And like I said, you guys, if you're watching over from anywhere else and would like to talk about what I have on the board, the number is right here to come and talk to me. Or if you're on the TikTok, you hit the guest request button, and then we could go ahead and have that conversation. All right, William, I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't pay much attention to the chat. My mods are the ones who are in the chat. They're the ones who go ahead and do everything there. So if you got removed, I don't know what happened. You probably said something racist. But anyway, if you want to talk about what I have on the board here, you guys see the topic on the board. If you want to talk about it, go ahead and call in right there. The numbers on the board. We can go ahead and have that conversation. Once again, guys, the number is on the board if you want to have the discussion. And if you're over on the TikTok, go ahead and hit that guest request button. Go ahead, that guest request button, and then we'll have the conversation. Okay, Rick, go ahead and come on up, Rick. Let's go ahead and have that discussion, Rick. All right, so here's the rules of my live, y'all. If you say something in the chat, I'm just gonna go ahead and invite you up. Rick dropped a Bible verse, which is fine, but I'd rather have the discussion with you, Rick. So I'm gonna invite you up so we can actually have the conversation. Now you're saying I'm insulting God or whatever. I don't believe one exists. So like, you can put Bible verses all you want. That's not gonna really, tell me anything or convince me of anything. I want to actually have the discussion on why I should believe it. What evidence is there? Dropping a Bible verse doesn't tell me anything. So I invited Rick up so he can go ahead and come on up and speak and have the conversation. Once again, guys, actually come up and have the conversation. Don't just drop comments either calling me stupid or Bible or Quran verses. I don't give a shit about that. Let's actually discuss things. Let's actually talk. Let's actually see where we have contention. And let's actually try to understand each other's position. That's much more fruitful. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to believe, but I want to give you my position and I want to hear your position, even though I think I've heard a lot of these positions. But I want to... Okay, we got a guest. All right. Jack, how's it going, Jack?
Pretty good. What about you?
All right. So are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm 21. And let's talk about number... well, actually, you know what? I want to hear why, if it's okay, why you think being woke is good.
Okay, being woke is good because for you to be woke, you have to be aware of systemic injustices, typically racial. And it's good to be aware of those things, and it's good to advocate against discrimination.
And that's what you identify as like being woke?
That's literally what the definition is, until white conservatives heard white college students use it and then flipped it to something that's, negative for no reason at all. As a matter of fact, I would say that white conservatives don't even know what it means. They just use it to be racist.
Yeah, same thing with like DEI. They made it seem like DEI basically means that companies are only going to hire black people just because they're black, that's just literally not what it is. So yeah, I agree with that. Let's talk about number 2.
Yeah, systemic racism is real.
Yeah, I think you're just a nigger.
Okay, cool. So does that mean that you're jealous of my chocolatey skin? And because like when you go out into the sun,
why is there like a gay black dude that probably has a big dick?
Yeah, so like when you go out into the sun, this is like what you're doing right here. You know what I mean? You'd be like this. Be like this when the sun comes out. So I understand being so pissed off. All right, but thank you so much for dropping slurs. All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and come on up. I'll go ahead and bring you up. And we'll go ahead and bring basketball up. All right. So Haley, go ahead and come on up. I went ahead and sent you that invite. I sent you that invite, Haley, so you can go ahead and come on up. All right, y'all. So we're just gonna go ahead and wait for the next guest. How's it going, Rowdy? All right, we got Caden who's coming up.
Who was that fat hippo that just walked through in the yellow behind you? What the fuck is that? What is that?
Oh, that's a beautiful woman that you will never have. Yeah, that's a beautiful woman that you can never have. Yeah, that's a beautiful woman that you can never have.
Whale walking around your house.
Yeah, because your mom loves to suck my dick. That's why.
Oh my god,
because your mom loves it. That's why. You know. Yeah.
Get her out of the fucking way.
No, that's my wife. I know you're jealous, bro. I know you're jealous.
You can hear her walking. That's how you.
He's just trying to diss you, but he's a piece of shit. So don't worry about it, baby.
From.
Okay.
All right, A62. How's it going, A62? Can I get your name, please, and which number did you want to talk about?
Okay, I want to talk about how progressives. You said progressives have better policies for society.
Yes, so the leftists do have better policies for society.
So so when you say better policies for society, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about things like healthcare, things like childcare, things like wages. Those are all better for society.
So you believe that when you say wages, are you talking about the minimum wage?
Yeah, sure. There's the minimum wage. I think that, well, not just the minimum wage. I think there should be a living wage. Basically, what that is tied to your area, tied to production, and tied to inflation. Essentially, what it will do is basically it'll look at what's the amount that you would need to pay rent, buy groceries, and pay utilities within that part of where you're living, essentially your environment, and the wage will be tied to that and production and inflation. I think that would be better for us.
So how much money are we talking here?
It depends on where you are.
An hour?
It depends on where you are.
Like, let's say if you're in California.
They because of under housing, essentially, they never built up their housing essentially, and that made everything else expensive. Not only that, there are other things tied into it, right? There's housing, there's like imports, there's the fact that basically the type of environment that it's in, it's hard to get water there. There's a lot of reasons what makes it expensive, but it's not because Democrats run it. They had a Republican governor for like 8 years and it was still expensive.
But I'm saying that the California is highly progressive and it's ran by progressives. So what are they doing in these states to not fix these issues?
They're not building more housing. The housing cost is what's making it expensive. What happened?
Yeah, but why can't California bring down the housing cost?
Because of NIMBYism. You know what NIMBYism, right? You know what NIMBYism is, right?
What is that?
NIMBYism is called not in my backyard, meaning that anytime someone tries to change the zoning laws and the housing laws in an area, the people within that area are always against it. That's what NIMBYism is.
So the progressives in these areas are against these laws, these zoning laws?
Yeah, they're against it. Well, I'm not even sure you could call them progressive or not, but yeah, they tend to be against it.
Okay, so why don't they complain to their local legislators about this?
They do, and when the legislators come up with something that would lower the costs, such as adding more housing, these people don't want to do it. So the entire issue is NIMBYism. It's not just that. That's one of that's one of the reasons, but that's one of the main reasons why it's so expensive, because of NIMBYism.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you're saying that the legislators, that when these people complain to these legislators, because most of the mayors and stuff in California are progressive. So you're saying that they don't want to do it, but that's bizarre.
What are you saying? What do you mean?
Like I'm saying, why isn't these progressive politicians giving these people what they want?
They are. You realize that you can't pass a law without certain, like, like the way a lot of our municipalities work is that laws have to change with the approval of the people. If the people don't approve it, the laws doesn't change.
Yeah, but the people don't want these zoning law regulations there.
No, they do. That's the issue. That's the
like
I said, NIMBY.
Oh, okay. So the progressives in these counties or in these areas, they do want these zoning laws.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
So, but that's making housing more expensive.
It is. So yeah.
So it's their own fault.
Like, it's their own fault. Correct. It is their own fault. No one denies that this is not their own fault. But NIMBYism is not a leftist ideology. NIMBYism is racism. It's not a leftist ideology.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but even if it's built on so these the progressives are the zoning laws are, you're saying that these zoning laws that they're for is NIMBYism or whatever.
It's NIMBYism,
whatever
correct.
You're saying. Like you're saying that, so you're saying that the progressives want these zoning regulations.
Yeah.
Right. But these zoning regulations make housing expensive.
More expensive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so progressives, because they have overwhelming majority of the state, and on top of that, they have, sky high taxes and regulations. Why don't they lower the regulations and the taxes? That way they can afford housing.
Regulations and the regulations and the taxes is not going to make what's going to make housing goes down. Housing is still going to be expensive because there's a shortage of housing. You just can't say, oh, we'll lower regulations, therefore housing becomes less expensive. No, there's not enough houses.
Well, that's because because there's so much demand. If there's so much demand for, is it in California? There's a lot of demand for housing, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of demand to live on the coast. Correct.
Okay, why don't building housing manufacturers or housing people don't want to build new housing? What is going on?
That's been the case since 2008. No, we've all across America, they've underbuilt, and building in California has been like that since like the 60s, and it's been like that for underbuilding because of NIMBYism, basically racism.
Yeah, but I heard it's also because of regulations, like environmental regulations.
Yeah, there are environmental regulations. Yeah, there are environmental regulations, correct. But environmental regulations are not the reason they didn't build. They didn't build simply because of NIMBYism. They underbuilt since the 60s. It wasn't environmental regulations that caused them to underbuild.
No, I'm saying right now, like if you got like parks and stuff, right, that they have regulations where they want parks and more stuff like that. And then you need a certain square footage of a driveway. Like some areas you have to have like a driveway or something like this, or a certain size driveway.
Right. I understand what you're saying, but that's not the main reason why they're not building.
Yeah, but you keep saying NIMBYism, but the progressives, the zoning laws is NIMBYism, but you're saying that they want the law. Why do they want the racist law?
Because they're racist.
Why do progressives want the race? Progressives are racist?
They are progressive racists, yes. Like any black Amazon driver in San Francisco will tell you that they will go into a San Francisco neighborhood to deliver packages that all have Black Lives Matter and pride signs and get the police called on them. Like progressives can be racist. Like no one denies that.
But then, if that's the case, then if the progressives are racist and the Republicans are racist, then it's an issue that you can't fix.
Yeah, no, we can fix it.
How?
Anti-racism. That has to be pushed.
Yeah, but
You got to just force it. Tell you the truth.
It's not
just like how we forced the Jim Crow to stop. You got to force the end of NIMBYism. Just got to force it.
Yeah, but how do you force people not to be racist?
You can't, but you can force. You can't change the thought, but you can change the structure. You can't change the system. Like ending Jim Crow didn't stop, Billy Bob from Arkansas hating black people, right? But at the end of the day, he couldn't he couldn't open up a diner and refuse black people anymore. He couldn't do that anymore. Yeah, I mean, so it's like he could still hate us all you want, but you're gonna serve them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you just gotta stop. You just gotta force it. Same thing with NIMBYism.
My thing is
same thing with NIMBYism. You say, hey, we don't want to build multi-unit housing in our neighborhood. Fuck it. You're gonna get it anyway, because you just gotta force it. A lot of these things you just gotta have to force it.
Yeah, but who? But you would need in order to enforce it, you would need help of the federal government, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so my thing is it's I don't know, it's just crazy how it's these NIMBYisms. Like you have all these people, progressive and Republicans in these counties, and they all complaining about, oh, we want more affordable housing, but we'd rather be racist than live in a house.
Yep.
That doesn't even make any sense to me.
Because racism is not logical, my friend. Racism has never been logical.
Okay.
So of course they're gonna hurt themselves. They're going to cut off their nose to spite their face. Of course they're gonna do that. Racism is not logical.
Yeah, but but I don't even think it. I don't even know if it's right, because like if I'm a capitalist, it's not. It doesn't even make economic sense for me to. Oh no, I don't want to make money off you blacks because you're black. Like that doesn't even make any sense. But
they do it.
Like, why would
they do it all the time? You realize you can monetize racism, right? They did that back in the 60s all the time. You can monetize racism.
Yeah, but if a capitalist wants to be an idiot and don't want to serve black, and you say, well, we're going to force you to serve blacks anyway, why not let him lose money? Why would you sign legislation?
Because he's not going to lose money. That was the entire reason why it had to be forced. They weren't losing money. They didn't lose money.
No,
you can monetize racism, my dude.
Well, you have less, not lose money, but they have less money. Like if you don't serve black people, if you're serving whites,
do they still profit?
And nobody else, you have less. The capitalists will have
do they
more
still
money
profit?
Serving white and black.
But do they still profit?
Yeah, they still profit.
Okay, if they still make profit, they won't care. Hold on. No, I don't think you understand. A lot of times when it comes to capitalism, as long as there's profit to be made, then they don't care. That's what inshittification is. You know what inshittification is, right? They give you a worse product, but they still make the profit. They'll give you a shitty product. They don't care. Yeah. As long as they make the money.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that if we're in a capitalist society and I'm competing with you, and you don't want to sell, if more people, because they know that that they're coming to me. I'm getting white people, I'm getting black people, and even those people, I might end up taking his people from him because I'm not a racist.
Once again, like I told you before, racism is not logical. You're thinking as a rational owner. Racism is not rational.
Well,
so then they're not gonna give a shit about making more money. They don't like black people, so they're not gonna serve them. Like racism is not rational, bro. You keep trying to make this a rational thing. They're not rational.
Okay, then if it's not rational, then why would you, as a progressive, force them to serve blacks if they're not rational?
Because it affects everyone. A lot of times they may be the only. A lot of times, like, of course, it affects everyone because for example, it got to a point where, like, let's say if a racist person owns a building, right, and a black person is looking for somewhere to live, and that building is the closest area where he can live and he can afford, but the racist person doesn't want him to live there, is going to start to have a noticeable effect of black people becoming either moving to poorer areas or becoming homeless, which is something that was happening. So you have to change that. You have to force them to take them. Yeah,
but wait, but hold on. So if a racist business owner is being racist in New York, and I'm all the way over here in Jersey, and you said it affects everyone, how does that affect me just because some racist homeowner landlord in New York don't want to rent to black people?
Are there racist landowners in Jersey?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
There
but
you
not
go.
Where,
That's how it affects everyone.
Yeah, but
there
it doesn't affect me.
All right, that's cool. It doesn't affect you, but it is going to affect someone that needs to live there. Why are you thinking selfishly, bro? Injustice somewhere is an injustice everywhere. What are you talking about? Like we learned that from MLK.
You said injustice somewhere is injustice everywhere.
We learned that from MLK.
Yeah, but I don't
like. I live in Florida. I live in Florida, right? That doesn't mean that I want the people in Chicago discriminated against. I don't know nobody from Chicago except for my wife's family. I don't know nobody from Chicago. But just because I don't live there and I don't know anybody there, that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna care that they're discriminated against. Like that's kind of crazy.
So if a racist like you yourself, so if a racist building owner says, you know what, Volsey, we're not going to rent to you. You're going to say, oh man, I'm going to be homeless now.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to look for somewhere else. But it's gonna depend on what's gonna happen, right? First of all, I'm gonna sue that person. They're gonna get sued. That's the first thing, and then you can lose your building. But the second thing that's gonna happen is that I may have to look for somewhere else. But depending on my situation, I could go homeless. That's the reason why all this has to change.
Yeah, so you're saying, hey, so basically the person that has the know-how, who gathered up all the money, who put in all the investment, they're saying that, hey, you need to help me out because
I really don't know where this line is going. Why are you defending racism?
No, I'm defending what's it called? What's the term called? It's called associate who you want to associate with.
You can associate with who you want to associate with. That's
association.
Freedom of association is fine, bro. No one's talking about freedom of association. But if you own a building, you need to go ahead and serve everyone. You're not going to serve a select group of people. That's not how we work in society. Because the moment you do that, you're going to be causing a negative effect on society. That always happens. That's why we changed that law. What are we doing here, bro? You're really defending the right for racists to affect our systems, and we don't want that.
No, I'm for freedom of association.
It's fine to be for freedom of association. No one is against freedom of association, but we don't want a Klansman owning a building in a black area where black people are not going to be able to live there. We don't want that. Why would we want that?
If a Klansman owns a building in a black area, he's going to get attacked. It would be foolish for him to try and build a building in a black area.
And yet that happened. That's the problem, bro.
They
didn't. They didn't, because they're the ones who own the building. So what they did was they will raise rents arbitrarily, or they will put higher interest rates, or it will be a slumlord. They wouldn't fix the shit inside the building because the people in there are black, so they don't give a shit about it. They're just making the money from the rent. That was the issue. And if you didn't pay your rent, they will shut off your water, shut off your lights, etc., etc. This is why racist owning buildings became a problem.
Okay, so what if I wanted to,
ain't no more what ifs, bro. Ain't no more what ifs. Ain't no more what ifs. Stop defending the rights of racists, bro. Ain't no more what ifs. Where are we going with this? Like, this is kind of silly. We started off with number 3, leftist policies are better for society, and now we're on a path of I want Klansmen to own buildings to discriminate against black people. This is crazy.
No, I just want freedom complete. I'm for 100%.
No one's problem with freedom of association. No one's a problem with that. But you want people to be able to discriminate in housing. Oh, we want that.
It's not just housing. It's anything.
Why would you want that? Why would you want that? Our society can't function like that way, bro. You're gonna create second-class citizens. You want to create second-class citizens?
Don't we have second-class citizens already?
No, we're not supposed to. At least.
Progressives think so. They think we have second-class citizens. They still think women are second-class citizens.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. They be like, women don't have women rights, and they always talking about women's rights today.
Yeah, they talk about women's rights and feminism and everything like that. That doesn't mean that women are de jure second-class citizens. But your situation, what you're gonna do, you're gonna cause de jure second-class citizenship. There could be citizenship
why
de
can't
facto.
black people? Yeah, that's true. But why can't black people just if white people don't want to rent to them, why can't black people just build houses?
Wow.
Oh, why can't black people just build housing? Are you a construction worker?
No, I used to be.
Okay, are you an architect?
I'm sorry.
Are you an architect?
No, I'm not an architect. No.
Yeah, and neither am I. So asking that is like, okay, how come we just don't build more?
Somebody's an architect.
There are black architects.
Black
There are black architects. No one denies that, right? But simply saying, oh, just go build houses, that requires a lot. You just don't go out and build a house. That's not how that works. We don't live in the frontier. No, they don't. The suburbs weren't just built by white people. The suburbs weren't just built by white people. The government invested into that. They didn't just go out and build houses. That's not what happened.
I thought they built it because you said that you don't want if white people discriminate against black people for housing. I'm thinking that they built the house.
They didn't.
But, yeah, I mean,
listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you. When the suburbs were built, there was a lot of capital investment and government investment. It wasn't just a whole bunch of white folks went out to outside the skirts of the city, chopped down some wood and built some houses. That's not what happened. It was investment. It was capital into it. And now that they excluded people, you just don't go out and build a house. We don't live in a frontier land, bro. That's not what happens anymore.
Yeah, that's fair, but we have a lot of black investors, correct?
Some, yeah. It depends.
Like LeBron James, I remember he wanted to build housing. He had I don't know if he finished it. And I think Ice Cube, he was talking about
yeah, there are people who buy. There are people who buy acres. They hire black construction companies and they build houses. We all know that people still do that today. That's not an issue. That's not what we're talking about, though. Yeah. That's not an issue. That's a thing to do.
We need the.
But like
we need the whites to.
No one said we need the whites. No one said that. We're talking about not having housing discrimination. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're saying because they're saying you need the whites because if you.
It's not about needing the whites. It's about not having housing discrimination. That doesn't mean you need whites. That's stupid. Saying a bank shouldn't saying no, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said depending on your situation, if you get denied for housing, yes, you can go homeless. That's depending on your situation. Doesn't mean you need whites now. That's stupid. Saying that banks shouldn't turn you down for a mortgage simply because of your skin color doesn't mean you now need whites. That's crazy to say, bro. That's a crazy leap. Like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is if you're saying that.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to 231 because like I can't take it anymore, y'all. I'm sorry. That guy calls in all the time. I'm about to block him. Tell you the truth, because he calls in all the time. I can't do it. All right, 231. Give me your name, please, because I don't want to call you 231 this entire time. Can I have your name and
No problem. My name is Joshua. What's your name?
Joshua. Josh, my name is Wolsey. All right, so Joshua, are you at least 18? Joshua, are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Which number did I want to talk about?
Yes.
Yeah, I must want to talk about all of them. I think they're all congruent, but if we want to do a jumping off point.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and put 15 minutes on the clock. Which one did you want? Which one we want to
start
with?
Number four. There's no evidence for a God.
Right. No good evidence for. Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think there's any good evidence for a God. What good evidence do you think there is?
You and I are speaking to each other right now. Isn't that evidence?
No. That just means that we're both alive. Doesn't mean anything.
Well, who created the life?
Well, how are you? I need for you to clarify what you mean by create. Are you saying create as like something deliberately made?
Yeah, deliberately made.
Right. Yeah. So that's a problem. You're assuming. Hold on, wait, Joshua. That's a problem because you're assuming that we were deliberately put here. So like that's a loaded question. So
it's not a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
I didn't even ask the question, by the way.
Joshua, you just said what created the life. And when I asked you, how are you using that word? You said, yes, deliberately put here. You're assuming that something deliberately put us here, but you haven't justified that assumption. There's no reason to assume that.
There's no reason to believe that that we just are here talking to each other about like pretty educated kind of things. I think it's an educating conversation. Some other people might think that this is not a lower level conversation and they don't want to have this conversation with me. But
I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Hold on. For me, what I'm saying is that I feel like that I'm having a high level conversation with somebody that I like, which is you, right? And we are both having this conversation together. So what else do we need aside from that?
Joshua, what the hell are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
What I'm saying.
I'm so lost.
Okay. I'm just happy to be having this conversation with you, and having this conversation with you is proof that life is created.
How?
Not just spontaneous.
How? How does that prove that?
How am I having this conversation with you?
Joshua, listen. Your position is that the fact that me and you are speaking intellectually about something is proof that life was put here deliberately. No, it's not. You're not making that. You're making too much of a leap for that. It doesn't necessarily.
I'm not making any leap.
Hold on. Yes, you are.
That's a statement that
Joshua, stop. Joshua, stop. No, you hold on. I wasn't done with what I was saying. So you hold on. You said that the fact that we're talking intellectually about something means that we were created. That's a non sequitur. Those two things do not follow to each other. Because I can easily say, because we're talking intellectually to each other, therefore E.T., the alien genie, created my hat. Those two things don't follow. So us being here speaking does not mean that we were created from something or deliberately put here by a species or a god or anything like that. It doesn't mean that. Now you can get off me.
Thank you. So a question for you, and no disrespect, but why do you try to refute it so harshly if like you don't even really know if it's true or not? Like
what?
Why try to disprove it so much?
I didn't disprove
when
anything.
You have no idea one way or the other.
Joshua, I didn't disprove anything. All I said was that your statement
I know you
doesn't
didn't.
follow.
What I'm saying is that what you're doing is you're trying to disprove it, like to the way other side, to where it's like.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Because that was going nowhere. I'm sorry, y'all. I've spoken to him before. He's not gonna go anywhere. I just keep giving him a chance because I think it's gonna go somewhere, but it usually doesn't. All right, I'm calling back 507. They called in before. I'm just gonna go ahead and see if they pick up now. Okay, let's bring up Jesus Cat real quick.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, 507? You called me earlier, but I was on the line with somebody else. How's it going? You want to go ahead and talk now?
About what?
All right. Well, you called in. Oh, okay, cool. All right, Jesus Cat, go ahead and come on up. You said that there's systemic racism against white people. There isn't. So go ahead and come on up and explain to me why you think that's the case. So I'm gonna invite. Yeah, I invited Jesus Cat up. So Jesus Cat, go ahead and come on up, and you can tell me why you think there's systemic racism against whites, because there isn't. So we can go ahead and talk about that more. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and keep the ball rolling. If you are over on any of the YouTubes, go ahead and call that number, and we could go ahead and have that discussion. Someone got banned over on the Deconstruction Junction. I'm not sure what happened there. All right, USA all the way. Go ahead and call on in. We're waiting for you to have the discussion. Tap that screen, guys. Tap that screen. Probably gonna be here for maybe another 20 minutes to an hour. All right. So for this person is like crashing out on the Bash channel. So for the person on the Bash channel that keeps leaving comments, you can go ahead and call in. Like the comment war is not going to do anything. Actually call me and then let's have the discussion. All right. Yeah, over here on the TikTok, don't forget that I have a gift goal. Go ahead and check out that gift goal, y'all. Check out that gift goal. Yeah, remember to keep tapping that screen. If you're over on TikTok, go ahead and tap that screen. If you're over on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like. Hit the like over on YouTube. And Prometheus, go ahead and call in. Prometheus over on Deconstruction Junction, go ahead and call in because I never said Jesus didn't exist, so I'm not sure where you got that from. But go ahead and call in. We'll have more of a discussion on it. Here's the thing, y'all. I need y'all to actually read what it says and not what you think I'm saying. Because nowhere up here does it say Jesus never existed. It doesn't say that. So, like, when people say this type of things, I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Like, no one said that. So I'm gonna need y'all to actually read what it says, y'all. All right, y'all. So we just chilling right now, waiting for a second. If y'all would like to call and have the discussion. Big W on the numbers today, guys. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for big W on the numbers. Tap that screen, y'all. Thank y'all so much for being part of this live tonight. Thank y'all so much for being part of this live tonight. Okay, well, he called me back.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Call from
Best place.
All right, 505. Can I get your name and age, please?
Travis.
Travis, how's it going, Travis? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yeah. What did you say? What number? What?
Which number did you want to talk about?
Oh, I don't even know. Whatever. Your race one.
Systemic racism is real?
Oh, of course it is. Everybody knows that.
What?
Everybody knows that it is.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. We agree. So cool. Systemic racism is real. All right. Cool. Which one? Do you want to talk about another one?
What? I don't know. Do we have to do another one?
I mean, you called in, so like.
Well, yeah. You got me just saying. You all kicked me for talking like facts and stuff. So I figured I'd call instead.
I didn't kick you.
Well, somebody did.
All right. Well, like I said, I don't control I don't watch the chat. So like, I don't. If you get kicked, it's because of one of the mods. You either were doing all caps, or you said something homophobic or transphobic or racist. So yeah. So number 2 is systemic racism is real. So you agree that black people go through systemic racism in America. You agree?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well,
okay, great.
Well, the same thing is, whites do it too. They have to deal with blacks that are racist too. You know, all races have racist people. Is what it is.
No, I'm talking about systemic racism.
Yeah, well, either way, I'm just saying it's all connected. Either way.
No, not really. It's not all connected.
Because you got blacks. You guys are blacks.
It's not all connected.
You know what I mean?
It's not all connected. Hold on, Travis. I'm gonna need you to slow down. I need you to slow down.
We doing fast.
I need you to slow down. So number one, can you stop saying blacks? It's black people. That's number one.
Okay,
But number
peas?
two,
Mhm.
when it comes to systemic and structural racism, that's not something white people go through because black people don't control
No.
any of the systems in this country.
No, well, I mean, some, but not most. No.
I don't deny that white people can face prejudice from a black person. No one denies that. But yeah, sure. There's a black person who can say that I hate white people. Yeah, sure. There's a black people who do that. But when it comes to actual structural and systemic racism, such as within the criminal justice system, within education, within healthcare, etc., those are not something that white people would face.
Yeah, those are just facts that are going to be in history later on. Like in 100 years, they'll be like, "Oh, look at all this racism shit back then." You know what I mean? And it's just what it is.
Okay, cool. So you agree?
Blacks saying they're not racist, yet they're doing all the racist stuff, a lot of racist stuff. I mean, it's just weird.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You know what
I
I mean?
didn't understand what you mean. I was talking about like structural racism. Like, what are you?
I'm
talking about?
I'll talk about all of it. I'll throw it all in. Like what do you want? Like,
all right, you're throwing it all in. Okay, hold on, Travis. Okay, you're throwing it all in. Like I said, no one denies that a white person can face prejudice from a minority. No one denies that.
Oh yeah.
What we're talking about is what we're talking about when I say systemic racism is real. I'm talking about the structural racism that we see in things such as employment, the criminal justice system, etc. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
you already said that you. You said. You said. You said. You said. You said that you agree.
I've been white, I would have got off. Got black, I would have got less time. You said, but I was native, so I got more time.
Hey, Travis, I'm gonna need you to actually engage and slow down. Okay, don't just react. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
All right, cool. So you already agree with that. Well, with number two. All right. So number one, when I say being woke is good, you disagree or you agree?
Doing what?
I said being woke is good. You agree or you disagree?
Well, I mean, I woke up this morning. Other than that, I don't know anything about the woke stuff. I'm not into the woke thing. I don't really care about it. I think they're all idiots.
All right. So do you know what woke is? Do you know what being woke is, Travis?
Yeah. Like understanding some weird political one way versus the other way thinking type of stuff.
Okay, really so you don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. So being woke.
Really, I don't really care about it.
So being woke is being aware of racial and social injustice and advocating against it. You are aware that racial and social injustice happens? Do you advocate against it, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, great. So that means you're woke. Cool. Now let's move to number three. Let's move to number three. Leftist policies are better for society. You agree or you disagree?
Both. I mean, I'm more in the middle. I mean, you got both left side and right side screwing everything up. So
not a problem.
I mean,
great, not a problem. Which leftist policies do you think are bad for America?
So I don't even know. I was really getting ready for this thing. I just wanted to call in and pick on whoever kicked me for no reason.
All right, Travis. Thank you so much for being here. We'll appreciate you. Go ahead and call in later when you're not messed up. All right, let's move on to I have here Theo Philosophical. I just call you Theo. Theo, how's it going, Theo? And Zero, I see you in the comments. Zero, come on up and we can have a conversation. Theo, how's it going, Theo? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about number 4.
All right, yeah, number 4. I don't think there's any good evidence for a God. What evidence do you think there would be?
I think the Kalam cosmological argument's a good evidence. Are you familiar with that?
I'm familiar with it, but the Kalam only leads us to some sort of beginning. It doesn't necessarily lead us to a God, because how do you separate like the first mover from like something that's impersonal to something that's personal, like a God?
Right. So, well, it leads to a cause, not a beginning. The beginning's part of the argument. So
it leads to a cause. Oh, yeah. So
yeah, cause. So if the universe has a cause, then that cause would have to be outside of the universe. It'd have to be spaceless, timeless, immaterial, immensely powerful, with causal powers. You've just raised the probability of God, because God is a class of beings like that. What would be the alternative?
Then all that could just be something that's impersonal.
Yeah, but what would motivate that besides the evidence at hand?
What do you mean what would motivate that? What are you talking about?
Well, like, do you know what like ad hoc is? Do you know what like when a hypothesis is ad hoc?
Yeah. I have an idea. But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to the cause of the universe, how are you separating the cause of the universe to something that's personal like a god to something that's like impersonal process or impersonal foundation that we won't understand yet? How do you separate the two?
Right. Well, what I'm saying is that, it's just sort of like saying if we found an 8-foot creature that walks upright, it's got hair, it's got footprints, why would we think that's Bigfoot? And I'm saying like all of those features point to Bigfoot as the best explanation. So when we posit, like if we say the cause is spaceless, timeless, immaterial, immensely powerful with causal powers, those are the features that, well, because if it causes the universe, it can't be made of material.
Why not?
It's got to, because the universe is all of matter. It's physical matter. It can't be made of that.
Why not?
Physical matter can't cause itself.
Why not?
How would it cause itself?
I'm asking you, why not?
Can you cause yourself?
No.
All right. Well, can a car cause itself?
No.
Can an iPhone cause itself?
No. We all know that.
Okay, so why would we think physical matter could cause itself? It has to exist to do any causing.
Right. So what if physical matter just always existed?
Well, we're granting it hasn't. You said you've granted the first two premises. Now we're talking about the cause.
No, the premises were about the cause of the universe. That doesn't mean the cause of matter. Like matter could always existed.
Well, the argument is you granted the argument. You're saying, okay, we're granting the argument. Well, I think the cause is God. So now you're saying, well, we're not.
612. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to the causal argument, we know that everything that begins to exist, everything that has a cause. I'm fucking it up. I'm sorry.
You want me to just lay it out real quick?
Yeah. Because I'm fucking it up. Go ahead and say it again.
Yeah. So premise 1, whatever begins to exist has a cause. Mm-hmm. Premise 2, the universe began to exist.
So the universe.
Therefore, the universe has a cause.
Okay,
now,
great.
To be clear, you granted all that. You said, "Hey, why I think it's God," and I just gave you a reason.
Yeah, we can grant all that. What I'm saying is that when I say why I think is God, I'm talking about the type of God that you're talking about, something that's personal or whatever. What I'm trying to say is that how do we separate that from another hypothesis, something that the cause being something that's impersonal?
Yes. Do you have an alternative? Do you have something that looks like God, has all the features of God, but isn't God?
Physics.
No, physics had beginning. You can't posit physics. We just said physics had a beginning. You just granted that. It can't be physics.
No, the universe has a cause, but that doesn't mean that physics had a beginning. Physics could have always existed.
Physics is the universe. Yeah, physical reality had a beginning. You just said it had a beginning.
You're talking about physical reality. I'm talking about, you said physical reality. I'm talking about the process of physics. Physics is a process.
Well, the process of physics belongs to what? The physical world or some other world?
No, the process of physics is just what we're describing when we see the universe.
Yeah, which had a beginning. So we can't say the process of physics caused physics. We're talking about the absolute beginning of physics, brother.
No. But what I'm saying is that the universe itself does not mean that the process of physics is now when the universe started. The process of physics could have always existed, just like time could have always existed.
But you granted premise 2 that the universe, which is all of physical reality, began to exist.
Right, physical reality. But I'm talking about physics. I'm talking about physics itself, the process of physics itself. That could have always existed.
Well, the word physics, what does that mean? What is that pointing to?
Physics is the science of basically our reality, what we see.
What kind of reality?
Physical reality.
Yeah, and we just said that physical reality had a beginning. So if it had a beginning, it hasn't always existed.
No, our universe likely had a beginning, but that doesn't mean that.
Well, what is our universe?
Our universe is physical reality. What I'm saying is
it had a beginning. You just granted
right. What I'm saying is that from what we understand about physics is that our physical reality may not just be the only physical type of physical reality. Physical reality may have always existed. This is just our presentation of physical reality.
All right. Well, then, I mean, if you're granting premise 2, are you granting it or not granting it?
What's premise 2 again?
The universe began to exist. The universe is all of physical reality.
The universe began to exist. At least our current presentation of our universe, began to exist. But like this then goes into science when it comes to the what's that thing called again? The hot dense state, the T-1.
Yeah, that's
Because
the Big Bang.
as-
That's the universe. That's
Yeah,
well,
as far as we know, we have no idea where that came from. It could have always existed.
well, if you okay, brother, you got to track. If you're saying premise 2 is true, you're saying that universe had a beginning. You can't like, well, no, I'm going to backtrack. If you're going to grant it, you got to go all the
No,
way with it.
I
May
said
I chime in, Volpe?
Yeah, give me a second, Caddy. I was talking about our when it comes to the Kalam, right?
Yeah,
So when you say that the beginning of the universe, you're talking about the hot dense state as well, that it was caused by something else.
that's a phase of the universe. But yeah, we're talking about the entire universe and all of its phases at a beginning.
So that's a phase of the
can't have
universe.
existed forever.
All right, why not?
Because you just said it had a beginning. You granted premise 2.
All right, so I'm not
How
granting
could it
premise 2
begin
then.
and also be around forever?
All right, so I'm not granting premise 2.
That's a
then.
contradiction.
So I'm not granting premise 2 then.
Okay, so you're backtracking. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So
I'm just not. Yeah, I'm not going to grant it. Yeah.
Okay, well, why
If-
not? Why aren't you going to grant it?
If that's what you wanna hold to, cool. I'm not going to grant it then.
Yeah, well, I mean, why wouldn't you grant it though? Like, why are you not granting it now?
Because we have no evidence that that's true. The hot dense state could have always existed.
Well, the hot dense state is just a phase.
Right, but we can't
Okay.
get what I'm saying is that you can't get before that.
All right. Well, I could give you a couple reasons that the universe did have a beginning. So we could say time can't be infinite into the past.
Why not?
That's one argument. Okay, let's say right now we begin counting to infinity. Would you ever reach it?
No,
Would you ever stop counting?
no.
Right. So if the past is infinite, how would the present ever arrive?
I don't know.
Because it's an infinite. It's an infinite 8. It's an infinite 8. Think about the
Hold
8.
on, I'm doing a
The
1v1.
eight
I'm talking
is-
to the host.
Okay.
I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, no, he could he could talk to me. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
I want to.
All right,
I want to
yeah,
mention
so-
this to him. I want to
Hold
mention
on,
this
let me.
to him.
I want to talk to the host.
no, he
I don't wanna-
he could talk to me. I'll let you in, Caddy, in a second. All right.
Yeah,
Let me just
yeah.
let me just explain this, and I'll talk to Caddy. All right.
Yeah,
so
let me
when it
just
comes
explain
to
it this way. So if
when it
if
comes
we
to-
can't ever reach the end of infinity, how would the arrow of time arrive at the present? It'd have to
because
go
it's-
through. It'd have to go over an infinite amount of moments. How could it do that?
yeah, just so like what I guess the best way I can explain it is that if there's an infinite amount of time, if it exists all in the past and all in the future, then that means that the future and the past always exist at the same time. That's how we're experiencing it. We're simply experiencing the linear version of it, but it could have all existed it all exists at the same time at the same place. Well, not the same place really, but it's just
Well-
all at the same time.
What's the evidence that exists all at the same time? How do you know that?
What is that called? Give me a second. There's a paradox. I forgot what it's called. Is it called the Andromeda paradox? Give me a second.
I don't.
Is it Andromeda
doesn't sound
paradox?
familiar.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called the Andromeda paradox. Essentially, it's basically like this. Me and you are sitting on a park bench, or I'm sitting on a park bench, right? So I'm stationary, but you're walking by me, correct? Now, over in the Andromeda universe, for me, it's the same day, but for you, it's 5 days later. But me and you are existing at the same time, but because you're moving in the Andromeda universe, it's 5 days later for you, and for me, it's the same day. That's the Andromeda paradox. That means that the past and the future all exist at the same time, and we're just experiencing one version of it.
All right, let me look this up here. So there's different present moments. So let's see.
Different present moments, exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, what is this based on? Like, what science is this based on? Is it-
I don't know the paper. I'm telling you the truth right now. It's something that I've been hearing about and been interested in for like the past couple of months, but I can't recall all the papers. I just know the explanations for it. But like, but it was based on like observations that they did, like actual experiments that they've done.
Okay, yeah, it's too vague to kind of really help me in this argument. I'm not sure what the objection is.
All right. The objection is that because you were saying if something existed eternally in the past, how could it also how would it ever get to the present? That's because you're thinking linearly. Yeah, I mean, you're thinking like everything just goes one way. But the way that we understand time, it doesn't work that way. The past, the present, and the future all exist at the same time.
Okay, so this sounds like you're positing something like B theory. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. Are you saying like there's no passage of time? Is that what you're trying to say?
Time passes. We experience time passing because that's
But does
just how
time
we
go
evolve.
in and out? Does time go in and out of existence, like the moments of time?
According to like from what we experience, but time itself, no. The past, present, and future are all existing at the same time. But for what we experience, we can't go back.
Okay. So what actually exists then? So you're saying time is. I'm trying to get out. I don't know what your view is here because it's hard to make sense of it because like
I know
out a paradox.
I know it's hard to make sense because we don't think that way.
View here.
I get you. We don't.
I'm saying
I'm
trying to interact with what you're trying to find the argument here.
Okay,
is what I'm saying.
Okay,
so you're saying
I get it. Okay, so what I'm saying is that when it comes to the way that we experience time, it's only linear. We only exist. We only experience past, present. That's all we experience. We don't experience the future yet, right? But when it comes to what we understand about time, at least physics, what it understands about time is that the future, meaning tomorrow, it still exists right now. We're just not experiencing it yet, but it still exists.
So you're saying all moments in time are real?
All moments in time are real, yeah.
Okay, that's B theory. Now, what are you saying about the universe, though, like physical matter? Are you saying that are you saying that the entire universe exists, even the universe that is in the future, that exists as a complete whole?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're saying it extends infinitely into the earlier than direction, correct? Like infinitely into the past, and it also extends infinitely into the future, right?
Yeah, I don't see a reason why that wouldn't be the case.
Okay, so well, I would just make a different objection then. So what we're talking about is this universe that is infinite in size into the past and into the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're imagining this 4D space-time block, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the universe. So, all right, can something exist partially or does it have to exist as a complete whole? Do you partially exist or do you exist as a complete whole?
I'm not sure how to make sense of that. Do you exist partially? Like, what
do you think,
what do you mean
can
by
something partially exist or it either exists or it doesn't, right?
Oh, okay. I now see what you mean. Yeah, something exists or it doesn't.
Yeah. So let's imagine this object, the universe, this 4D space-time block. It's infinite in size, like into the past and into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we were saying earlier, like, can we count to infinity? And you said, no, we can't ever reach that. So imagine something infinite in size.
Mm-hmm.
It has to exist as a complete whole. We agree on that. It either exists or it doesn't.
I mean, it does. Yeah, I think things exist or they don't. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it has to exist as a complete whole, not partial, right?
What does that mean, though? Okay, I'm trying to tie this into what you're trying to get.
Well, what I'm trying to say is like even this move is going to be incoherent, is what I'm trying to say. So you're doing away with time. You're like, okay, like time is linear, and you're rejecting that. So what you're saying is like all moments in time and all objects are equally real. They all exist at once. And you're saying like, but they're not finite in existence. Like the universe is infinite in size. It extends infinitely into the past and it extends infinitely into the future. So it's this four-dimensional space-time block that's infinite in size. Because if it's always existed and its future is present right now, its future is actual, then it's infinite in the future. This thing is infinite in size. Like, are you following me on that?
No, not really. I'm trying to get to what you're trying to get at, or what the problem is, because from what we understand about physics, this is exactly what's happening.
Yeah. The problem is if you're gonna like something has to exist as a complete whole, right? It can't partially exist. Like we agree there, right? Like you can't just partially either exist or you don't.
Or you don't exist.
The whole thing, either something exists as a whole or it doesn't exist. But something that's infinite in size is never complete. So
why not?
It can't exist because there's always something, you could always add more to it.
There's always going to be more.
It's never completed. Something that's infinite is never completed. Like what we said earlier, like if we're counting into the future, you'll never finish because there's always some number you can add. You'll never complete those numbers.
Right. But
and what I'm saying is I'm taking that and I'm applying it to an object that's infinite in size. It'll never be actual.
Oh,
it's never completed.
Oh,
It's
okay.
incompletable.
Hold on, Theo.
Yeah.
You're actually, because I actually put some time on the clock. I put about 15 minutes, and we're actually right out of time. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna let you finish, but then I know Caddy wants to talk to you as well. But no, I see what you're saying. I think the mistake that you're making is that you're thinking linearly, because humans are linear, but time may not work that way in of itself.
We're not even talking about time, though. We're talking about the object.
Right.
We're not just talking about time. We're talking about
I understand, but the object may not work that way itself, linearly, like how you're saying. It may not work that way. But
I'm just going by what you said.
Yeah, what I said is literally what you're describing. It doesn't work that way. I know it doesn't make sense to us, but from what from what things that we're learning about the universe more, it simply doesn't work that way. But give me a second, Theo. Let me go ahead and let Caddy go, because I know there's more you want to talk about. Give me 1 second, Caddy. Black Joker, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Are you at least 18, and which number did you want to talk about?
Number 2.
Number 2. All right, cool. So, all right, cool. So stay on mute for me real quick. Caddy, I'm gonna let you and Theo go for about I would say I'll let y'all go for about 10 minutes. Actually 12. I'll let y'all go for about 12 minutes, and I'm gonna move on to Black Joker. Okay, guys. Caddy, what did you
let me just say one more thing to you, Volchi, and then I can move on to Caddy if you want. But like, so if we're saying, like, I'm just taking what you're saying and I'm just seeing if it like makes sense. So you're saying, okay, all moments and objects are equally real. You're not just talking about moments in time. You're saying like the objects that exist in time. All those things are equally real right now. The things in the past are real right now. The things in the present are real right now. The things in the future are real right now. And you're saying the universe is that it's this singular object that's real in the past, real right now in the present, and real in the future. So the whole thing exists. And you're not saying what you're saying is like it's not finite in size. You're saying it has no beginning. It's always been around, and it'll always be around in the future. So when we think about what you're saying, you're positing an object that is infinite in size, both into the past and into the future. It's this object that is unending. It's incompletable. But for something to exist, it has to exist as a complete whole. But if it's incompletable, it can't exist as a complete whole. That's the contradiction.
But what I'm saying is that
an incompletable object is complete. That's a contradiction.
But what I'm saying is that it's not incomplete, not necessarily. It's an eternal object, but it doesn't mean it's incomplete.
Well, what's the finite bound? If it's infinite in size,
there's no finite bound. That's what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean that it's incomplete.
Yeah, that means it's incompletable.
No, it'll
never be complete.
So it's no, but in like something that's eternal can still be complete, just like the 8. When do you get to the end of a circle?
Eternal has to do with time. We're talking about size.
And when do you get to the end of a circle?
Yeah, but like an infinite circle is you're talking about time. Eternal is right. Eternality has to do with time, but we're talking about the object itself.
Theo, like circles are objects, right? But there's no end of a circle. It just keeps going. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we're not complete. Yeah, but we're going like the past is not a circle is not the same shape as the space-time block. Like in physics, the space-time block is not the shape of a circle.
Yeah, it's
so that's apples and oranges.
I understand that it's a block, but from what we understand about time is that it all exists at the same time. We just don't experience it yet. That's what we've come to the conclusion of. They all exist at the same time. The past and the future are all present, all existing at the same time. We just experience it one at a time. We don't experience it.
I'm going with that. I'm saying, well, removing our experience, and we're just talking about what actually is, regardless of what we experience. I'm taking this is what actually is.
Yeah,
it's this space-time block that extends infinitely into the future.
I got you, Theo. Yeah. From what we've seen from physical experience, that's exactly what's happening. That's what it is. I'm
saying it's incoherent. Yeah, the argument is that it's incoherent.
That's because it's not an incoherent argument. This is this is from something that we've been able to show within physics itself. So, like, I understand that it's something that's mind-boggling. We don't understand why that is the case, but this is what physics shows us.
No, physics doesn't show us that the universe has always existed. That's not what physics shows us.
Physics shows us that time doesn't work the way that we think.
That's it. But that's consistent with a a universe that had a beginning too.
No, it's not.
What you're talking?
How is
yeah,
it consistent with the universe that hasn't existed if time works on everything at the same time?
No. Time. General relativity is what you're talking about. Time is relative, right?
Right. Time is relative.
So general relativity is consistent with a universe that has a beginning. It's also consistent with a universe that never began. It says nothing about the beginning of the universe. It only talks about gravity and time's relation to gravity.
I understand, but you keep saying that either the universe is incompletable or time has to be finite or anything like that. But from what we see from experience, it doesn't have to be. No, time can be eternal and existing all at once.
Yeah, and I'm taking that idea and I'm saying if time and all the objects that exist in time exist all at once, you have this thing that's infinite in size. And I'm saying, like, if something is infinite in size, it's never complete. It's incompletable. But for something to exist, it has
not necessarily. What? All right, hold on. Caddy wants to go.
It's all good. It's all good, bro.
So,
Caddy, go ahead.
So he's using finite notion models where there's infinite notion models that exist within science. I want to point that out. And yes, that the Western world leans toward finite models more because of but we are now finding out more things about our universe than we once knew before. And when you're talking about physics, in physics, there's no such thing as no thing. Even physics acknowledges that there's always been a something going on. So in that comprehension of physics, you cannot say that you can say that the universe was born from a big bang. Yes, that would be this universe's beginning. But whether or not it has been a series of bangs or whether or not it has always existed is still yet undecided by science. You're just leaning toward a monotheistic point of view of creation when there exist other points of views of creation. And I'm a Hindu. I can give you the cyclic understanding of existence and reality and God if you want.
Yeah. So how does that address my contradiction at all?
It addresses your contradiction because you're hyper focused on one model and not all the different models that exist.
What do you think Volchi was saying? Can you repeat back what Volchi's view is?
Volchi believes that there's always been a something.
And always been a something. How and what else did he say? Always been a something, like, so it's infinite into the past?
Time is only relative to your physicality. You perceive time differently.
Right. That doesn't answer my question. Is Volchi saying the universe?
You are choosing to view physicality through the lens of a human. You don't view physicality through the lens of a dog.
We're a bunch of humans on a TikTok, bro. We have to do human things.
Well, my whole point is a dog doesn't experience time the way you do. What does that say about time?
Okay, how does that evade the contradiction?
You, by your physicality, are giving time a map only because you are limited to your physicality to perceive time. A dog does not perceive time the same way you perceive time.
Is the universe only time?
No, it's not.
What else is
time?
It?
Time is only relative to your physicality.
Yeah, awesome. What else is the universe besides time?
The universe is that which is and always has been.
Well, what is that? What is that index to?
It doesn't matter what you throw on it, what label you throw on it. It has always been. Why do you need?
What is the it?
You want to put a label on it.
What is the it?
You don't need the it. You don't need the it.
Yes, we do. We're talking about the it. What is it?
Do you say the end?
The it. We're talking about the it. What is it?
It could be anything you want it to be.
You don't even know what the it is?
The it could be anything you want it to be. For me, it's Adi Parashakti, the divine mother who creates the Trimurti.
Volchi, are you Hindu?
Shiva.
Yes,
I am Hindu. I'm a Shakta.
Okay, great. Then I'm talking to Volchi's view, not yours, brother. So.
Oh no, he wanted to speak. So that's all I was.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm gonna peace out.
Okay.
I'm gonna peace out. Well, it's a good combo, Volchi.
All right, no problem. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate your time, man.
No problem. Oh crap! I didn't know if you want to say something else. Hey, my bad. I didn't know if you want to say something else. My bad. No, I was letting you go, Caddy, because I know you want to go from your position. I didn't know he was Still trying to talk about mine. My bad.
Right. He was trying to talk about yours, but he did. What my whole point is, he's like using his strong argument about time and about his perception of the universe and reality when there's other perceptions of it, and even other scientific perceptions of it. That was my whole point to rebuttal him. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Not a problem. Let me talk to Black Joker real quickly, and then after him, I'm probably gonna get out of here. But Caddy, definitely appreciate you. All right, come up when you can again. Appreciate you, man. All right, Joker, how's it going, Joker? You said you were 18 and you were talking about number 2. Cool. Do you disagree that systemic racism is real?
I agree it's real, but my question was more so, what are you doing to help fight systemic racism if you know that it exists?
So what I do is essentially within my organization called Black Men Build, I try to mentor young Black youth. I'm also like studying to be a counselor, a therapist. One of the things that systemic racism does is that we don't have a lot of access to mental health services. So I'm going to be one of those people that's going to give people access to those mental health services, either for low cost, completely for free within my organization. Also, I as a person who's a counselor, I'm going to be advocate for systemic changes and getting people to create more avenues to get access to healthcare.
Okay. No, I really like that answer. I support it. You know, I just saw it on the prompt, and I just figured if you knew it was real, I just figured like, if you know it's a problem, what are you planning to do to combat it? And you know, I definitely agree with your answer. And, you know, I ain't got nothing else to say about that, so I'll just drop.
Oh, okay.
You have a good one, bro.
Hey, no, you too, man. Appreciate you.
All
right. Ala Critty. I'm not sure how to say your name, but you can go ahead and come on up. We can go ahead and have that discussion. All right. All right, y'all. I'm gonna be putting the whole music right back on. Hey guys, one more time, I appreciate y'all. If you're watching me over on Deconstruction Junction, I appreciate you there as well. Thank y'all so much. You guys are amazing. Call in if you would like. I did have someone that hung up. I'm gonna give them a call back in a moment. Over on my channel, Volsy Thoughts, W on those numbers, guys. Big W on those numbers. Let's go ahead and keep tapping that screen here on TikTok so we can go ahead and keep it going. Remember, y'all do have a give goal. Let's go ahead and get that give goal up. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. And Ala Sritty or Ala Critty, I'm not sure how to say your name. But go ahead and come on up. We can go ahead and have that discussion. I'm gonna call back the person that was on the line before. Give me 1 second, guys.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man? Sorry about that. I did have you on hold for a moment. But we can go ahead and talk now. Can I get your name and age, please?
Oh yeah, I'm 36, and my name is Jason. Are you the guy from TikTok?
I am the guy for TikTok. I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Jason.
All right, cool. Jason, you said you're 30. All right, cool. Jason, 30. Which number did you want to talk about?
Let me go back on your live because.
Okay, I'll just tell you. Number 1 was being woke is good. Number 2 was systemic racism is real. Number 3 was leftist policies are better for society. Number 4.
Yeah, leftist policies.
Oh, that's what you want to talk about. Okay, cool. Leftist policies are better for society. All right, cool. Let me put the time on the clock. Yeah, I think leftist policies are better for society. I can tell you which ones
I think your wife's bad as fuck. Now let me fuck your wife.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah,
because you're not gonna be able to do that because you see, she doesn't like small penis guys. You know what I mean? Like, because black niggers. Yeah, she loves us. And I know that you're jealous. All right, I know that you're jealous. Stop chalking out. Please stop chalking out.
You got a fucking whale.
So stop honking out. Please stop honking out. We're gonna need you to stop honking out. We're gonna need you to stop honking out.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your meth addled women,
you're trying to use your brain.
I do understand that your wife is on meth. I do understand that your wife is on meth. I do understand that your wife is on meth, and then she likes big black men. All right, but she can't have me. I'm sorry that I'm married and I have a beautiful wife that you can't have.
You got Mother Teresa.
Okay, so it's I do apologize. I do apologize, Jason.
That your wife is
all right,
fat,
Jason.
bro.
I'm sorry that
500,
Bro,
600 pound wife.
my brother,
Wife.
stop chalking out.
600
All right.
pound wife.
When the
wife,
sun
bro.
comes out, you try to dodge it under trees. Okay,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
be you when the
same
sun comes
shit.
out.
Oh, you guys are
All
afraid
right.
of the sun.
Listen,
Yeah, blah blah blah.
listen, Bleach
Yeah, you guys
Demon.
are afraid of the police.
Listen, Bleach
You
Demon.
guys are afraid of the police.
All right, and you're afraid of my black cock, and
you
you're
started in front
afraid
the police,
of black
bro. You
people,
know you got drugs in that
and you're
car.
afraid of black people,
The
and
cop
you're
asked,
afraid of black
"Are you drugs
people.
in your car?" You started.
You're afraid of black people. All right, and you're afraid of black people. All right, we understand that too, can Sam?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Toucan
yeah. You
Sam?
guys are afraid
Yeah.
of the sun. Yeah.
All right.
Call from
Joe R.
All right. Hey, let me give me a second. All right, 818. How's it going? Can I get your name and age, please?
Yeah, Joe. And I'm 36 as well.
You said Joe 36.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Which one number did you want to talk about?
Let's see here. I kind of want to touch on 4, but you guys went really into depth with that, so I'm just gonna go with let me see here. Faith is unreliable. Maybe 5 for me.
Number 5, faith is unreliable for finding truth. Yeah, I think faith is unreliable for finding truth because it's essentially a coin flip. Why do you think it's reliable?
It's like hard to explain that because it's like trying to prove what faith is and how to quantify that. But for me, it's like when you read the scriptures, it really dumbs down how the world works essentially. And I've been really trying to. I forget what verse it is, but it says that when you focus on what is it? On practical knowledge, it really sets you free, essentially, right? Like it's focused on King Solomon, and he was one of the wisest men, and it showed that he strayed away from God, right? And well, for me, I would say this: when it comes to the political aspect of it, I don't vote and I don't get involved. And there's one verse that really solidified that for me, and it's when Jesus is tempted, right? When he's in the mountains and sees all the nations. And he says, and the devil tells him, "Hey, look at all of, look at everything that's been given to me. Like I've been handed the keys to this, right?" And it says, "I put who I want in charge." And he says, "All this can be yours if you just show me one act of worship, right?" And what it showed to me there was that he is the one currently running the show, and the Bible never says that changed, and it's still the
so
same thing.
Joe, I'm having an issue here because this doesn't really, number one, Israel doesn't really address what I said. Like faith seems to be a coin flip, but number two, you're going into a lot of these biblical stories, but why should I believe any of those things?
Right. Well, it's like trying to prove
faith is not proof. Faith is something that you just have. You just really, really trust it without any evidence. And I don't think that's a good way to find the truth. The way that you find the truth is with evidence, with experimentation, with actual like some sort of data. Yeah, I mean, and we know that faith is not a good way to find the truth because, like, let me give you an example. The ancient Egyptians had a lot of faith, right? They had a lot of faith in Amun-Ra and Anubis and all those gods, but we know those gods aren't true. So when it comes to faith, we have like real life experience, thousands of years of different gods existing. You know what I mean? So if they had faith and we know what they had faith in wasn't true, wouldn't that mean that faith isn't really a good pathway for you to find the truth?
Sure. For me, I look at consistency, right? Like, no matter what religion you go into now, which is Muslim, Buddha, you name it, they all mention Jesus Christ, right? And
not Buddhism. Jesus not in Buddhism.
Oh,
Jesus not in Hinduism
really?
either.
I'll look into that, but if I refer correctly, I think it says that he had the mind of Christ or something like that, or reincarnation. But I'll look into
Buddha?
that. Yeah, I have to look into that, but I know that it referenced them in some way, just like
it doesn't. No, I mean, there could be Buddhists today that reference Jesus, but Buddhism in of itself, when it started, it did not mention Jesus at all. Neither did Hinduism. I think Buddhism predates the Christianity, as a matter of fact.
Sure. I'll fact check that. But to answer your question, when it comes to faith, and for me, it has made it very simple because nowadays we see a lot of political parties about how there's arguments about one party should do this, the next party should do that. And what I see is that since the parties have existed, they have never been on the same terms, and they've never agreed. So what's to make me think that they are going to agree again in the future? They're not. They're divided, and they're going to stay divided. And for you act for proof. That's the proof is living. Like there's no peace, there's no equality, there's no justice. There's injustice all over the world, right? So
yeah, of course.
It shows that there is someone that keeps it this way, right? And you read, for me, like what you said for faith, right? How can you prove faith? I'd like to ask you that question: is can you prove your consciousness to me?
Yes, I can. You can hook me up to machines. And I'm talking to you right now.
Your electrical wavelengths, right? It's an EEG monitor that'll show you if there's any electrical activity. But if you think of a green apple and we cut your brain open, we will never see a green apple. We will never see a pink rose or whatever your thoughts are. We'll just see if the brain is working or not. So and that's like the paradox that I feel we live in every day. It's like we want to have proof and answers for everything, but yet we still cannot prove consciousness, something that we use on a daily basis, you know? So,
I mean, we kind of can, because like we've never been able to take a consciousness without a brain.
Well, there are people living in a vegetative state that they are alive technically, right? But
they're not. They're brain dead. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. You said vegetative state. Yeah, sure. If they're in a vegetative state, but there's brain activity, then yeah, that means they're alive. But if there's no brain activity at all, no oxygen going to the brain, there's nothing there, they're dead. They're gone. That's it.
They are dead already. Yeah, they are dead. Technically, they're living, right? Because of the machines that are artificially alive. But one thing we do know is that they don't have consciousness, right? They don't have any of the ability that makes them them.
Well, actually, they're literally dead. Like, there's nothing there. The only thing keeping them, quote unquote, alive is the machine keep pumping in their heart. But that's it. Like, once that machine turns off, they're gone. Like, their heart will automatically stop. Their breathing automatically stops because the brain is gone. The brain is dead. There's nothing. There's no activity. There's nothing there.
Right. No, you're right on that aspect. But the brain activity doesn't necessarily mean consciousness. You know what I mean? That doesn't explain consciousness.
Right. Okay. So then my question would then be, if you think that the brain has nothing to do with consciousness, how come we've never detected consciousness without a brain present?
How come we've never detected consciousness without a brain present? Because that is the way that we were created. That's how we exist. We live in that parameter. We live in that shell that we are given, right? That's the only way I can explain it, really. Because I mean, it sounds unreasonable to think that there's something inanimate can be conscious, right? That isn't a God that created it. Like, you can't have a computer working without. You can't just have a CPU floating in there. It has to be created inside a computer, I would imagine.
Right. I mean, but this still kind of assumes that we were created by some predetermined or deliberate being, like a being deliberately put us here. But we have no reason to believe that's true. What shows us that's true?
It goes based on your faith, on whether or not you believe, because you could choose to believe and choose not to believe. That's the freedom we've been given, right? That's the freedom that we've been given. You can either choose to believe from a Big Bang theory or wherever you came from, or from a higher power, which everything that is in existence now, it was really advanced earlier about the time and about multiple places existing at one time and everything. Don't get me wrong, everything seemed very, very detailed and very highly educated, but it's really futile in the end of the day. It's like you can only perceive you can only perceive what's going on if you're conscious or not, like whether it exists in the future.
Right, of course.
Or not,
I mean, I do disagree with one thing though. You said that you can choose to believe or not. I don't think we choose our beliefs. We're either convinced or we're not convinced. And for this one, I'm not convinced. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't choose to believe something. Like, I can't force myself or choose myself to believe in the God that you believe in because I'm unconvinced of it. You know what I mean? So it's not really a choice there. But what I would then say is that, like, a lot of this gets into a kind of a, just trust me, bro. And none of us really operate that way. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't tell you, like, for example, if I were to say, hey, Joe, I got $50 billion in the Bahamas. Quit your job, take a flight to Nassau, and meet me on the beach, and I'll give you $20 million. Are you gonna go there because I said so?
No, because it sounds unreasonable.
Yeah, that's very unreasonable. Exactly. No, I'm glad that you said that. That sounds unreasonable. That's what these Bible stories sound like to me. This sounds unreasonable that, a God would create this infinite universe, pick an average galaxy and an average size planet, and go to some goat herders in the desert, and then, I guess, ancestrally make a whole bunch of children in order for him to impregnate a teenager, and then sacrifice himself on the cross of a torture device, all for the glorification of himself, I guess. Like that sounds very unreasonable to me. You see what I mean?
But and I do know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, as a matter of fact. But the question I asked myself was why? Why did he do that? Why? What was the point of all of that? Why would such a just God make us go through this? And that's when I started reading the scripture, because he gives us the gift of knowledge there, of knowing why. And you don't have to believe, but he tells you there in Genesis. It's like in the first book, if you say, this is the problem that I face sometimes when I discuss certain individuals. They want biblical truth without believing in biblical events. They want, prove to me in the Bible, but yet I'm not going to believe what the Bible says, and that's a contradiction on it. It's, you can't reason with someone like that. That's like trying to reason with someone who is unreasonable. You become unreasonable. But if they humble themselves and they just for a second accept it as a truth, just for a second, then maybe you might understand. But you can't expect answers from a book that you don't believe in. But if you do, though,
here's my issue with that, right? Because you said, why would God do that? Why would God being just do that? My question will actually be, why should I believe this is even true, or how do I even know it's true? Yeah, I mean, I can't simply accept something to be true with just for reasons. Yeah, I mean, why would I do that? Because just like I said with my story about the $10 billion, you wouldn't believe that because it's unreasonable. But if I were to tell you, just accept that it's true, are you still gonna come to Bahamas? You're probably not. I mean, because you're gonna ask me, why should I accept that it's true? I mean, so it's the same type of question. Why should I accept that's true? Like, there's no reason for me to do that.
You don't, and you have that right to. You don't have to accept that it's true, and that is your, and it's respected. If you don't believe it, that's fine. I'm not going to look at you any different, and it is your choice to believe or not. And the only thing I have to say is that after you read the scriptures, you start to see the reality of the world for what it is. And
can you say that about any religion?
You can say that about any religion. You can. But the Bible says that in the end of the day, that there's going to be people that come in and, look what I did in your name. Look what I did this. And they're going to say, turn away from me because I never knew you. Like there are false religions. The Bible says there are false religions.
Right.
The question for me
and that's a problem for me, because there are religions that predate Christianity. So how is that the true one?
Well, for me, I see that the Bible has survived. The Hebrew and Greek manuscripts have survived, and their prophecies are still coming true to this day. Like one of them that I like to see, that I like to say is that Babylon, right? I forget where Babylon is. I think it's in Iraq or Iran. And it says that place was like America before. It says that place was booming with life. Like if they told you today, hey, United States is going to be a barren land, like, dude, you're insane. Right, that's what Babylon was at one point, but it said that land will be a land that's deserted. That will be animals that are scavengers, crows, wolves, or just a beast will live there. And you go look today, and it's still there, right? But what's one man that tried to rebuild it? Saddam Hussein, and look how he ended up. Not saying that God did that, right? But just saying that that's still the reality today, and it's still what it is, even though someone tried to rebuild it.
But what I'm saying is that prophecy also applies to the Aztecs. So can we just say that they were talking about the Aztecs or the Incas or the Egyptians?
Because the Aztecs and the Incas we're living in that land. Apparently, well, if the history is true, we're living on their land essentially, right?
Yeah, we're living on their land. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to the Aztecs, they're also a barren land that is full of animals and no people. We just go there for tourism. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, doesn't that same prophecy apply to them? Because that's exactly what happened to that
No,
like
because
empire.
there's nothing there. There's no life. It's just scavengers, right? But if you go to the Aztec, there's like the jungle, right? There's like the Amazon forest. That's like.
Are you talking about where we're talking about the where Babylon used to be? Where Babylon used to be is actually Baghdad, I think. Give me a second. Where is
Sure.
Babylon now? Oh yeah, Babylon still exists. It exists in the Babil province of Iraq. It's still there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like you can still go to see the ancient areas and all that good stuff. It's in the city. It's outside of a modern city right now. So like you can actually go there and then go to a hotel and then visit the site. Like you can, it's still around. They just kept up the site basically of ancient Babylon.
Right.
But yeah, you can still go there.
But from what it used to be, like from what let's say United States used to, you can still go to. From what it used to be a productive city, like a booming nation, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a city anymore. It's not a city anymore. But right now, actually, it is a city right now. You just have to go to a certain place. The city is called Hilla. It's a city of Hilla right now. So right now, it's the city of Hilla, and ancient Babylon used to be there. You can still go see the sites. But Hilla is still there. Like the city is still there. Like you can go to it. It's just that the ancient city of Babylon, yeah, it's not really operating as Babylon anymore. But you can still go to Hilla.
No, I agree. You can still go there and see its remnants, and you can see that prophecy was completed. Like there it is. There's a remnant. You need proof. There it is.
But the thing is, though, like, what I'm saying is that's every ancient culture, every ancient society is going to die and pass away, right? Like, for example, when that verse was written, ancient, like Egypt was already ancient when that verse was written, right? Because Egypt has existed for 6,000 years. And by the time that verse was written, it was like 3,000 years after the first pharaohs. Yeah, I mean, so even then, people back then knew that things could become ancient and the cities will pass away. That's like ancient Egypt had ancient Egyptologists to study ancient Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where, like, you know, time happens for this type of time is very long. You know what I mean? So like 100 years ago was what, 1926, and that was 100 years ago, and it seems like ancient history to us. You see what I mean? So it's like, think about what it was 1,000 years ago. Like, what was 1026? You know, that seems like ancient history to us, and we still study it today. That's what this type of situation that they're in the past, if you understand what I'm saying. Hey, but Joe, we are out of time, so I gotta go ahead and move on. But I do appreciate the conversation. All right.
I appreciate your time as well. You have a good day, sir.
Not a problem. Give me 1 second, y'all. What's up, baby? You okay, baby? All right, give me a second. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. That was the last call, and I don't have any more guests here on the TikTok. So, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all. But I appreciate for y'all for being up here. Y'all are wonderful. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. We are gonna go ahead and get out of here now. As always, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Volsy Thoughts. Big W on our numbers tonight. Subscribe to Deconstruction Junction as well. Thank y'all for being out here tonight. Thank y'all for being becoming members, and thank y'all for the racists who called in, who are jealous of my wife. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining. As I always say, be secure, be affectionate, be wise, be flexible, and be trustworthy. Everybody should be soft. All men should be soft. Peace, y'all. Love y'all.